Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Thank you guys very much for being here today. I appreciate it. Hope you're all doing well. It's a rainy day in Red Ridge, which I don't particularly like a rainy day in Red Ridge. It's a snowy / rainy / sleety day outside, so I'm already experiencing this in real life. My plan for today is to get this priest to level cap. So we're going to jump right into things here. We're heading out to the east, and we're going to go after the battle-worn axes. I remember this quest very well from the warrior, because it was the last quest I think I did on stream. And I think after I did that quest on the warrior, I took the warrior offline, and I finished it on my own. So we'll see how it feels compared to that. So if you guys missed it, I did do a Dead Mines run. And from the Dead Mines run, we got the Stirring Rod, which is awesome. And we got this shirt. I'm not sure about the shirt. I don't know if it's a good chess piece. It has a lot of spirit on it. It has no intellect. So I don't know if the robes of Aragol are going to be better for us, or if they're worth really farming SFK for, or if we're okay to run with this. Other than that, we also got the staff from the Van Cleef quest. And at some point today I have to hit up the auction house. I need to find one more ring. I need to find a neck piece. I need to find a helmet. BFD raid for the priest today? No. I will do BFD on the priest on Saturday, which is my raid day. Today is going to be about getting to level cap, and if we have a little bit of time, maybe we can try to get some gear. I don't know if we can maybe get into an SFK run. If not, then Wednesday we'll devote to trying to get a little bit of gear for the raid. Robes always look better on a priest? Nah. We look awesome. I beg to differ. I think that the tunic looks best on the priest. That's just my opinion. Everyone can enjoy their own aesthetic. Lots of fireballs coming in. Nice, Jason. Nice. Yeah, I plan to heal on the priest. I wouldn't mind doing DPS. You know, I'm gonna heal the raid. That being said, if I end up getting people that really want to heal, if someone was like, Robert, all I can do is heal, I can't possibly do anything else, I would give them my heal spot and I would go DPS. But I do plan to try to heal. And I think for healing runes, I don't want to give up penance. Penance is a really powerful, really big heal, and I don't want to give it up. So for my healing, I think I'm gonna, and I like prayer mending. I like prayer mending. I like how it bounces around the tanks and around the melee. And I really don't want to give up penance, and I really don't want to give up prayer of mending. So I think I'm gonna get circle of healing. But I think that's a leg slot, isn't it? What do I want in my chest slot? I didn't see like any really good healing runes for the chest slot that I liked. Let's see. Priest runes. Serendipity. Healing with flash heal reduces the cast time of your next lesser heal, greater heal, prayer of healing by 20%, stacking up to 3 times. Okay, so like if you were going to spam flash heal, which I don't know if that's really what I'm going to be doing. I'm probably not going to be doing that at all, actually. Strength of soul. Lesser heal, greater. Yep, all your heals reduce the duration of weakened soul. Okay, that's good. In addition, targets of your power word shield will gain rage. Okay, so that's like for warrior tanks. But I guess that's really... Oh, power word barrier. Oh, damn. Hi, guys. I'm trying to read my runes here. Do you have any fucking respect for somebody trying to read their runes? Incredibly rude. GTFO, please. I'm trying to focus here. Maybe I want power word barrier. Yeah, I think that... No, that's legs. Damn it. I hate all the healing runes that I don't already have. Let's see. Hi, hello. Yeah, I don't really like either of the chest runes for healing. But I guess if I have to pick one... Like, if I have to pick one... I guess I'll go with Strength of Soul. Where am I gonna get this from? Let's see. Oh, okay. Any Thistle for Mob in Ashenvale. So I can't even get this till I'm 25. Because I'm not going to Ashenvale before then. And then Power Word Barrier... I mean, I like Prayer of Mending a lot. Power Word Barrier seems like it would be fun. It protects the party members. Yeah, like, that's cool. I'm already going to be putting Power Word Shield on everybody. Like, I plan to keep everybody shielded. So I don't know if I really need that or not. I want the Robes of Aragold. They have 9 int and 10 spirit. Yeah, I guess that'd be good. They're not going to look as good as the tunic, obviously, but like... few pieces of gear can. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think I have a lot to do to get my runes that I need. Apparently the only one that I really want is gonna come from Oh, see, the power word barrier I have to kill Blackrock Shadowcasters. Those are elites. Yeah, no, I don't care about barrier. I'm gonna keep Prayer Mending. I'm gonna keep, yep. I'm gonna keep Penance. And then I'll go after Strength of Soul for the chest rune. We have to kill a Thistle for a mob and then climb a tree, because of course you do. Anyway, I'll focus up a little bit on questing now so we can actually get to max level. I'm hoping we can get it today. I don't really see why it should be a problem. We're pretty close to level 24. As far as where we're going to go to get the level, we're probably going to have to go into Duskwood a little bit. And do the intro stuff in Duskwood. Or I could do what I did on the Warrior. I could just run back and forth in the northern part of the zone. And just grind on stuff for a level. That might not be a bad idea. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to go to Darkshore. Yeah, this is where we're gonna finish up. We're gonna do this one quest right here, and then we have to go back to Darkshore. See, this is what happens when I stream. When I stream, I immediately forget all of my questing plans. I have this all planned out, and then I just like completely blanked on it. But yeah, we're gonna finish this one, and then we're going back to Darkshore. And we should be able to hit level 25 in Darkshore, even if I have to grind on stuff. If I have to grind on stuff in Darkshore, I'm gonna grind down by those ruins of the old god's body or whatever it is. And maybe we'll get that one quest item to drop. The one quest item that has like a 1% chance to drop. Maybe we'll just grind down there. See what happens. Leveling like hardcore on sod. I'm leveling better on sod than hardcore. Because in sod I got to go over to the Night Elf lands like really early. We got to go to Teldrassil, we got to do stuff out of Dalinar. And in hardcore you can't do that. Because in hardcore you'll get killed. We got killed like 3 times making the wetlands run. So the questing arc that I've had on this character is probably the most efficient, best questing that I've ever done. Yeah, it's been the best questing that I've done on any classic character. I'm like really far ahead of the leveling curve as far as I'm concerned. I haven't touched anything in Duskwood yet at all. I haven't touched anything in the wetlands yet at all. And I'm not going to. Like I'm holding all of those quests until the level band opens up. I know some people are out there doing quests for gold at level 25. Those people are going to have serious regrets as soon as they have to level from 25 to 40. But they're going to have lots of gold, so that's good. I swear I'm like losing frames in the rain. I lost like a couple of frames. It was really weird. Got a little bit choppy. Okay, this guy is like actually beating my ass. Oh, there we go, he died.
Salutations! Be seeing you.
Maybe it's always been this way, and I never noticed. But in recent years, like the number of like just stupid effing names that I see, like they're not even they're so stupid that they're often not even offensive. But like the number of players I see running around with like what I would call a joke name, or like a stupid effing name, like the number is exponentially increased. I feel like I don't even want to like hover over people sometimes because I just know they're gonna have a stupid fucking name, and like part of me doesn't even want to be exposed to it. It's like yeah, like every character I click on has like the dumbest name you could think about. I don't know why. Maybe it's always been that way in WoW and I just never noticed, but it feels like it feels like a phenomenon that happens more and more recently. Yeah, it's all joke names and it's all like they're all like bad. Like usually they're sexist or racist or like usually they're as close as they can be to being like reportable without being actually reportable. It's like a game. Like how stupid can I make? How close to getting reported can I make my name? Like how close can I get? It's like why don't you just like name it something fucking normal? Why does it have to be like semi-offensive or like yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make me hate the player base, but it gets me closer. it doesn't make me respect the player base either. And then I think, well, this is like a slice of humans. Like, this is a sampling of actual humanity. So, like, if 80% of people are running around WoW with, like, offensive, stupid, sexist, racist, bullshit names, those people are, like, unfortunately, those people are also out in society. You know, those people are at the grocery store or the library, or they're at your school and your workplace. You just don't necessarily know who they are. Yeah, and it's like you don't have to take the name or the character super seriously. But not taking the character super seriously doesn't mean like... Yeah, I can't even say some of the examples that I've seen. It doesn't mean that you have to give your character a stupid ass name. If you don't take it seriously, just run it through the name randomizer. You know, just run it through the name randomizer until you settle on something you don't hate. Jesus, those people aren't at the library. To be fair, nobody's at the library. I don't even know why I said library. I can't tell you the last time I was in a library. It would have been when I lived in Missouri. Because in downtown Kansas City, they had a nice library. So we'd go there sometimes. It was a library that was big enough to, like, get lost in. But that would have been like, that'd be 5 years ago, 6 years ago at this point would be the last time I was in a library. But yeah, those people are not in a library. I'm fighting a fucking elite? Why am I doing this to myself? I'm fighting this guy now too. That's fun. That's painful, very painful. Okay. Let's get our hots or dots back on this guy. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to kill this guy, but I'm kinda like stuck into it now. Oh, this is not going to be helpful. This is not good. I can't shake him. Red 6, are you okay? I can't shake him. I'm not okay. Oh, he's running. Oh, shit. Okay, maybe I could have healed. Nah, damn it. Okay, I might be good. I might be okay somehow. Oh, shit. No, don't cast at me anymore, bro. Oh, God. Oh, no. Okay, we're healed up. Alright, we're good. We're good. We might be good. I can power word shield here. Okay, we're good. Oh, that's a nice way to level up. Well, that was a little bit of fun. I don't know where this guy came from or why. Apparently, he didn't even have the decency to drop a green item. Oh, for shame. What a scumbag. I have to say, the priest is so powerful, like, compared to the warrior. Like, I remember being here on the warrior, and I remember hating every moment of it. And compared to the warrior, the priest has been, like, incredibly overpowered. The warrior felt weaker and weaker and weaker the more I leveled up. But the priest has felt really steady. The priest started strong, it was strong in the middle, and now it's finishing strong. It's, like, so far, like, best class. Like, I've had, like, outside of the one dungeon that I've done, I've had to drink water, like, 2 times in the entire playthrough. Even after all that just happened, like, fighting the elite, going like, I still didn't have to stop and drink water. I don't even have water. I don't even own any. Haven't bought any. It's like, it's non-stop momentum. Somebody left a comment on YouTube, they're like, oh, priest seems like the most boring class. Oh, yeah, if by boring you mean absolutely awesome, like a banger class that just goes and goes and goes, then yeah, they're really boring. Because drinking your mana every 2 pulls is really fun. Sitting to eat after every 2 pulls is also really, really fun. So the priest is incredibly boring. Super boring class. Oh, we're done here. Let's skedaddle. We're gonna go turn this in, and then we have to take a long flight back to Menethil. Yeah, Menethil Harbor. And then we're jumping the boat, we're going back to Darkshore. We're gonna finish up our journey in Darkshore. John, good morning, I'm doing well. For a Monday, I'm doing okay, yeah. It's only Monday, so the week has many days to get worse. Yeah, it's early to tell. Yeah, the 5 out of 5 spirit tap, the improved wand. Like, firstly, like, get an awesome wand, and then spec into improved wands, and you're basically unstoppable. You don't ever have to cast if you don't want to. Like, you could wand the entire way. Throw a dot and wand. That's what I say. And so, like, I don't even know if I'm going to play any other classes in this season, because, like, what are the odds that any other class is going to be as fun, as smooth, as enjoyable as the priest? Because I hated the warrior. I hated the warrior, and at max level, the warrior is still boring AF to play. Like, think about a boring class. The boring class is the warrior class. It just is. They did not do anything to make it exciting or fun to play. That being said, like, I'm arms build. Maybe if I went after Relentless Strikes or whatever it is, and I went into a Fury build, maybe it'd be more enjoyable. I don't really know. I'm not going to find out. So yeah, but I don't know. I don't know what else I would play. If I play a mage, I'm going to have to drink every pull. If I play, you know, like a druid, well, I guess, like, a druid, they fixed Wrath, so, like, Wrath is free. But, like, do I really want to spam Wrath 1 billion times? No. It's not anywhere as cool as Penance. If they made Wrath into a Penance-like spell, then I would be cool spamming it. Yeah, Justin, me too. Warrior has been traditionally and historically my favorite class. In SOD, it was horrible. Especially comparing it to the Priest, you know, like, having this experience and thinking back about the Warrior, it's like, yeah, the Warrior was, like, kind of trash. It could have just been that I wanted to go arm spec. It looked like they had set me up to succeed, but the class felt weak, and on top of being weak, it's just kind of boring. Like, especially in raids with the build that I have, all I do is I rend and I heroic strike. Rend, heroic strike, rend, heroic, and occasionally I throw up like a shout. But it's incredibly boring gameplay. They need a buff, but they also need another ability. And it can't be Quick Strike. Like, the ability that they get can't be Quick Strike, because, like, Quick Strike, you're having to choose between that and something else that you actually want instead. And Quick Strike itself is kind of garbage. Yeah, they need to do something for the warrior. I don't even know if it needs to be, like, a lot more powerful. It just needs to be more fun to press buttons on it. Because right now it's not. It's the opposite of fun.
King's honor, friend. For the Alliance, light bless you.
I am not going to take this quest. I don't need it in my log right now.
Be careful.
I'm not going to be worried about any of these quests until we're going into phase 2. I'm not going to touch anything else here. I haven't touched anything in Duskwood. And we are going to save all this stuff for phase 2. Because I'm like 99.9% sure this is going to be my main character through the rest of SOD. Come what may, this will probably be the character I'm going with.
Need help?
We have a long flight. We have to get all the way up to Menethil Harbor. So, sorry about that. It's a good time to stretch your legs, get some coffee, get some water, hydrate, snack, make a sandwich, fold some laundry, vacuum the floors, mop, do whatever you guys gotta do. You got 7 minutes. Taffy, you're having a better time on the Warrior than I had. You know, that being said, I messed up my leveling path on the Warrior. But the fact is, like, when I raid on the Warrior, it's super boring. So, like, even though, like, leveling is over and leveling was a horrible experience for me, like, even though that's over, like, raiding on it is incredibly boring. I'm gonna enjoy healing a lot more, because at least that'll give me, like, actual buttons to press during the raid. How is tanking as a warrior? Yeah, I don't know. Somebody out there probably does. But I haven't tanked on it in SOD. If I want to tank, I'm gonna roll a paladin to tank. Because then I don't have to worry about stance dancing or any of that garbage. But looking at like some of the runes for the paladin, specifically looking at I think it was the AoE Divine Storm or whatever, like that's locked behind so much nonsense that I don't even want to deal with it. Like when I look at a class and a bunch of their runes are a pain in the ass to get, I just don't even want to play the class. I'm not excited to try to go get the runes. Getting the runes, like the way that we have to acquire the runes is like really just a big inconvenience. It's not really fun. It's not really exciting. Like the first two that I ever wandered across were okay, like, oh cool, look, we found one. But that hardly ever happens. Typically you just have to look up what you have to do and then you go do it. And so that's like the biggest thing holding me back from playing anything else in SOD is I think, well damn, like I can play another class, but then I have to look up my runes, then I have to type them out in my OneNote, then I have to go do the things to get them. It's not fun or exciting or engaging gameplay, to be honest. And it's kind of like made me think, maybe I just need to get the couple of runes I need on this character and then not play anything else. I thought about a rogue or a paladin. The paladin would be like just to tank. Like I wouldn't even be I guess I wouldn't even be going after like DPS stuff. Cuz if I rolled a paladin it would be to tank on it. And then I thought maybe if I wanted to DPS on something I would DPS on a rogue. But we'll see. I'm kind of hoping that soon they decide how long the level band is going to be. I want it to last until like the first week of February. I just wish they could come out and like confirm that. So that people know like how much time they have to like level alts and stuff. When is the next hardcore stream, or is that over with? I don't think it's over with, it's just whenever I feel like it. I started an immersive. People were asking for like the AI voiceover add-on to be used. And so I started recording an immersive hardcore series where I'm running the AI voiceover add-on. That's been really fun for me. As someone who has spent a couple years like reading out all the quests for other people to hear, and like therefore not absorbing any of it myself, like having the AI voice like read me the quest has been really, really enjoyable. So that's going on. As far as like streaming like on the Hunter, I don't know, probably soon. I'm almost like bored of SOD. So if I'm sitting here saying that I don't know, like, if I'm gonna roll up another alt in SOD, then I'll probably be back in hardcore eventually. On the streams, at least. I'd like to keep the hunter going, but yeah, it's just whenever I feel like it. If you look at the internet says that that hardcore's over, but it's not really over for me. Blizzard did a poll on their YouTube channel last week that asked, "What version of the game are you playing?" Unbelievably, and I don't believe it. I think the numbers were fudged. Unbelievably, 47% of people said Dragonflight, 41% of people said SOD, and 3% of people said hardcore. And I think those numbers are bullshit. But yeah, I think the numbers are what Blizzard want us to believe. Before they let anybody go home that day, they made sure all their employees went to the YouTube poll and clicked on Dragonflight before they left. Gotta make it look like anybody's playing retail right now. Taffy, none of the runes have been hard to get. Not the ones that I have. Like, I don't have all my runes. But none of them have been hard to get. Emma, that's awesome. Thanks for hanging out with the stream. I appreciate it. Why would they need a survey? They should have player metrics. Oh yeah, Cody, they do. The survey is propaganda. Like, the survey is not for Blizzard to see and use the numbers. No, they have internal metrics for that. The survey is for us to see. It's for us to be affected by. It's to, you know, affect how we feel about the game. That's why I said they had everybody log into that before they left Blizzard Corporation headquarters, and they had them all click Dragonflight, because they want the public to think like people are playing Dragonflight, like it's a hopping, like you're playing SOD and that's busy. Dragonflight is really the place to be. It's so hype right now. 47% of people are playing it, and so no, the poll is for us to be affected by. It's a propaganda piece, and also it's for the shareholders. It's for the shareholders to see, because the shareholders don't have access to all of the data that Blizzard devs do. And so, like, the shareholders want to see that more people are playing Dragonflight than anybody else, than anything else. Because Dragonflight is the only version of the game where people can go buy a bunch of shit with real-life money outside of paying for their sub. So, like, the shareholders don't want to see that, like, almost as many people are playing SOD. But, you know, they went in, they tilted the numbers as far as they could towards Dragonflight to make the shareholders happy and to make us feel like people are playing Dragonflight. Yeah, and for the poll, you can only click one, Rick. So, you know, you play Dragonflight, but you also play SOD. Well, if you're gonna go to YouTube and answer their poll, you have to click one or the other, my man. You are not allowed to play multiple versions of WoW. You have to decide which one is more important to you, obviously. Yeah, I've been playing a little bit of retail. I revisited the Balance Druid today. I did a recording on the Balance Druid. Trying to get that character, like, at least into Dragonflight content. I don't know if I'm going to take it from 60 to 70. I might get it to 60 and try something else. I don't know if I have it in me to level through the Dragonflight zones again. I wish they would change time walking so that you could take your character to max level in your time walking campaign. I really hate, like, doing a time walking campaign, hitting 60, and then having to go do the Dragonflight zones again. I don't want to do them again. There's only, there's like 3 of them? There's 4 of them, technically. And I don't want to do any of them again. I don't want to ride my dragon around. I just want to get to level cap. And I really wish they would change how time walking worked so that I could do that. Yeah, I've done that before, David. I did that in Shadowlands when I would play retail in Shadowlands. I'd get to level 50 and I would stop. because there was no way you were going to get me to take multiple characters through Shadowlands zones. And so like Dragonflight leveling is not as egregious as Shadowlands leveling was. But I still don't want to see the zones over and over and over and over and over and over again. I still think it's boring to have to go through the same shit. Because it's only like 5 hours of content, but you have to do all of it. So I've been thinking about like, unless I'm really, really loving a class, I've been thinking about just taking retail characters to 60 and parking them. Because I don't think I want to just keep doing the Dragonflight content again and again. It's not interesting for me to play, and it's, you know, I doubt it's interesting to watch. The Balance Druid's a pain in the ass to play. Like, let me see. I enjoy the fantasy of the class. It's been enjoyable from like a fantasy standpoint. As far as like the button pushes and how the class feels, it feels really weak. Yeah, a lot of classes in retail as you level them up through a campaign feel weak. Until you get into Dragonflight, and unless you have full heirlooms, unless you're just rocking like 100% heirlooms, like that's what people always use as like a point of reference when they say that retail leveling is easy. Retail leveling is easy if you're decked out in full heirlooms. If you're not, if you're trying to like just play the game and gear up, like, oh man, like I can deal okay damage, but when that character starts getting hit, they get chunked for their HP. Like I have to heal myself more in retail than like any other version of the game. And so yeah, the class has not felt super powerful. It's just been interesting from like the standpoint of like class fantasy. That's why I'm still at it. That's why I'm probably going to get it to 60. And then I don't think I'm going to take it through Dragonflight content though. I might do a rogue next. I might do a red skin Draenei rogue. Because I know they did like a slight rogue rework for combat. So I'm interested to see what that's like, how that plays. Yeah, the spell effects are cool. Right, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah, like everything about the class, like aesthetically, like visually, you know, it's really nice. I like the idea of a Balance Druid, and so I'm sticking with it. But it hasn't been like very powerful, and the button pressing is like the mechanic is kind of obnoxious. You know, it wants you to like go back and forth between like sun and moon, but like I tend to just do one or the other and just get through combat any way I can without really paying too much attention to the mechanic. Ultimately, I feel like any class in retail is gonna be too many buttons for me to push. I just hate having all the buttons to push all the time, and I'm pretty sure that like basically every class is gonna be like that. Like it's okay while I'm leveling up because I can afford to be like inefficient and it really doesn't matter. But then like put me in a setting where it's like a raid or something and like I just don't want to deal with all the buttons. I don't want to deal with all the procs going off. I don't want to deal with all like the 30-second cooldowns, the minute cooldowns, the minute and a half cooldowns that you have to cycle through. It's just too many buttons to be enjoyable for me. So like I have a good time leveling because I can ignore some buttons. When I go into my talent trees, I always take if it's a choice between a passive ability and another button to press, like I always take the passive one no matter what it is. Like, I'm never going to choose to have another button to push in retail because you already have too many in my opinion. I don't find more buttons to necessarily like lead to more fun. That's it's not really how it works for me, turns out. Yeah, Mike, me too, exactly. And I know I'm probably losing DPS, right? I know that if I looked up a real build, like it'd be like, hey, choose this one, but I can't. I have a Logitech G600 MMO mouse and like all my buttons are full. Like I can't make any more key bindings. I already have so many available key bindings at a point when I can't make more. I have too many buttons. I just don't like it. And a lot of it in retail is like you get these little cooldowns, these little cooldown periods. Like you pop a cooldown, it's a 30-second cooldown, or it's a minute-long cooldown, or it's a 2-minute cooldown, and you have to cycle through them. And so that's always adding like a bunch of buttons to push. Let's see. We're gonna go right up here to the north and work on this one. And we have this elite. We can do this elite quest. I killed that elite orc like no problem. Well, we had problems, but the point is I killed him, and so I think we can do this elite quest up here as well without an issue. Do I just want to wait till level 25 to do SFK? So I don't know if I'm gonna farm SFK for the robes. Like the robes would be a nice to have, but I wouldn't mind doing it a couple of times. But I'm thinking that I should probably just wait till level 25 at this point. I don't really want to do that because then I'm not getting kill XP, which is always kind of lame, especially if you don't get any drops. What else is in there? There are shoulders, right? Caster shoulders. I have to visit the auction house today at some point. And see like what slots I can fill. I need a neck piece, I need a helmet. And I need another ring. Like trinkets, I don't know if there's any like useful trinkets for me at level 25. Rick, you have a 22 key gaming keypad for Dragonflight and it's still hard to fit everything? That's awful. That just sounds so awful. Yeah, it's ability bloat. It's almost like they felt like the only way to make it, since it's tab targeting, it's like they thought the only way to make the game like more exciting was to make more buttons to push. But that doesn't really do it. It doesn't really make the game more exciting. It's still a tab target MMO. So there's like really, you just kind of have to embrace what you are because it's never going to be like exciting. What it's going to be is bothersome and arthritis inducing for a lot of people. Yeah, Mike says, I don't have that many fingers. Right, exactly. Like, yeah, I can't. I don't have that kind of dexterity. If I had that kind of dexterity, I'd probably like play the guitar, play the keyboard or something, you know. I'd do something useful with that kind of dexterity. I wouldn't be like wasting that kind of dexterity playing WoW. Alright, these relics are the ones that look like various things. Yeah, they don't have like a consistent look. Some of them are like little statuettes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's this quest. I got a Shatter Spear offering. I don't know what to do with this. I don't think I've ever seen one of these drop. Nah, I'll just ignore it. It's probably nothing. Yeah, Karen, it had to happen. Yeah. It's unfortunate, but, you know, it's like I can make a choice like that, or I can keep letting myself get distracted and bothered by people when I don't need to. No, and it's like, I don't know if I'll do that going forward, but I probably will. At least while I'm in the raid, and while I'm, like, pulling bosses and stuff. The alternate thing is, like, I stop streaming the raids. That's kind of where I'm at. I don't really, like, in any other mode of the game, I don't mind backseat gaming. Like, while I'm running around the world, I'm in a 5-man, I'm doing something wrong, like, I don't mind backseat gaming. I fucking hate it during the raid. I found that out Saturday. I found out that I hate backseat armchair raiders. And, like, so when I get triggered by something, I have to do something about it. And that was the most efficient solution that I had. That didn't single people out, because like somebody telling me like I don't want to ban individual people, because they're just people telling me over and over and over again the same thing, and like they think they're being helpful, but they're giving me advice I don't want and that I don't need. And so I don't want to ban people for that reason. I just don't want to hear it. I just don't want to have to deal with it or be exposed to it while I'm raiding. I want to raid with the 9 people that I'm raiding with, and I want to figure the strats out as a group of 9 people, and I really don't need or want the input from chat when I'm raiding. And it sounds harsh, like, that's fine, it kind of is what it is. It's apparently the only mode of the game that I hate backseat gaming, because it's never bothered me before, but then when I'm raiding, I just don't like it. And yeah, the thing is, like I said, it's not that like people are saying stuff that I would ban people for. I just don't want the advice. Like I had one guy tell me 17 fucking times that I needed to make a macro so that I could shift into defensive stance, equip a shield, and interrupt an attack. When in fact I didn't need to do that. We had interrupts. And more to the point, dude said it like 15 times and wouldn't stop saying it. Like I don't want to ban him for that from the channel, because like he thinks he's being helpful. At the same time, there was a lot of stuff like that, and I just don't want to see it. I just don't want to see it. And my thing is, like, if you want to berate me about how bad of a raider I am on raid day, that's fine. You can berate me, but you're gonna pay me first, and then you can come in and berate me and tell me what a bad WoW player that I am. I don't care at that point. You pay me $2, you can say whatever you want. Like I said, in any other version of the game, I don't care. Like, I'm running around the world, people can criticize, tell me this, tell me that. Even when I'm in a 5-man, like, I don't care. People have ideas for strats, but in raids, like, I don't want input. I don't want someone, well, the way to really pull this is what you have to do that I read on Wowhead and watched 17 videos. And it's like, if they were speaking from their own experiences, it probably wouldn't be as annoying. But I know it's people that are just like looking at like the current strat. Like they're looking at the current strat on their favorite website or from their favorite creator, and then they're just trying to they're trying to be someone in the chat who's like the smart guy. Like, oh, I know the strat, let me tell you. It's like, I don't want you to tell me. I don't want to hear it. I don't want your strat. I don't want your advice. And that's kind of where I'm at with the raids. So yeah, unfortunately, like once we start pulling stuff in the raid, it's gonna go to members only. Like before, we can hang out, but as soon as we start pulling bosses, they're gonna go members only. And that's for as long as I stream the raids. You know, I might not stream the raids every week. Yeah, Lael, exactly. I'm also a person that I kind of hate following the strategy. Like, I like to pull a boss, I like to wipe a few times, I like to figure out what to do with the people that I have in the raid group. Like, as a team of 10 people who play the game, we can figure out what to do to succeed at the fight. It's a situation where, like, I definitely don't need 10, 20, 30 people in chat trying to tell me to do like very specific things and trying to give me advice on how to play. Yeah, we all have pet peeves, and sometimes I come across mine. And it's like, this is not a job for me, so like I'm not gonna ignore a pet peeve. If I feel a certain way about something, I don't like something, I'm gonna take action and I'm gonna do something about it. You know, because I'm not here to like just tolerate the stuff that's really bothering me. And as the raid went on, like it started to really, really bother me. And it was also becoming distracting. In times when I was simply trying to learn the fights and experience the fights, it was becoming not only something that was irksome, but something that was like actively distracting me. Like realistically, when I'm raiding, like I shouldn't be looking at chat at all. Like that's the other thing. And chat is usually pretty dead, except for the people trying to tell me how to play. Like that's what I've noticed on Saturdays, is like chat is really quiet because most of you guys realize I'm doing a raid. Most of my attention is going to be on the fights, so there's not a lot of talk in the chat. And then the talk that there was in the chat was simply people trying to tell me how to do better, how to do something different, how I was wrong with what I was doing. That became the majority of chat, which then got distracting because, like I said, ideally, like I'm fighting bosses, like I should not even be reading chat unless we're on a break or maybe we're stopping before a pull. I wish it would stop dropping these. Any idea what these are for? Because I have no idea. It's a unique item. I already have one, but they keep dropping more of them. It's also an on-use item. I can click it and it acts like I'm going to use it. And I have no idea what it does or what I would use it on. And I've been here before and I've done this quest like 2 or 3 times and I've never seen this item drop. So I'm just kind of baffled. Like, can I use it on one of these guys? No, I can't use it on enemies. Red Robin, I have a nice subscriber bump lately. What channel are you looking at? Are you kidding me? What do you mean I have a nice subscriber bump? All my numbers are down, man. My numbers have been down for a long time. I definitely have not had a subscriber bump recently. The last time I got any kind of stat bump was the first day that SOD released. And after that, hype went really quickly. So I don't know what stats you're looking at. I've been floating around the same subs for a long time. I calculate that by the time I'm 70, I'll have 100,000 subs. Yeah, my kid asked me once, like, will I ever get my YouTube play button, the plaque they give you? And so I did the math, and I said, you know, if I live till I'm 70, then I might get my 100,000 plaque. He told me that if I didn't live till I was 70, he would take over the channel for me to make sure we got the plaque. No, well, what it is these days is, like, it's always kind of been this way, but it's been more so since official hardcore, kind of. It's been more so that, like, hype for WoW, like, hype for a version of WoW does not last very long. Not if you're a creator. Like, I don't know how, if, like, for an individual player, people can feel hype for themselves for a while, but, like, if you're talking about, like, hype on the internet, like, hype for WoW does not last more than a couple days anymore. And it wasn't always like this. Like, when Classic first came out, the hype lasted a long time. When they released Burning Crusade, the hype lasted a long time. It was sometime after Wrath came out, and probably around the time they announced official hardcore, that it just seems like people's attention span and people's, like, excitement for things, it goes away really quick. You know? People are typically really hype about something for a couple of days on the internet, and then after that, you know, they're on to the next thing, whatever that happens to be. It's one of the biggest reasons why I've gone back to focusing more on recorded stuff, because recorded stuff finds a bigger audience. Recorded stuff finds more people over time. Like, you know, a recorded video just kind of gets to live out there, and the people who like that kind of content will eventually find it. Whereas, like, streams do not live outside of the time that you're streaming it. Like, you get, like, very little interest on a VOD after the stream is over. And so it's been one of the biggest reasons why I've gone back to mainly focusing on recorded stuff. It's like, if I want the channel to grow, and I want to grow the community, like, I can't do it streaming. YouTube isn't structured that way, and, like, WoW hype doesn't work that way. Because there isn't enough WoW hype right now. It's like kind of in a lull. And when there is hype, it's very, very short-lived. Very short-lived. When I'm 70, I'll be able to control the channel telepathically. Not only that, but I'll also have multiple AIs creating content for me by the time I'm 70. Like, by the time I'm 70, I probably won't even have to do much content of my own. My AI will have learned from all of my prior videos, and it will make content more immersive, relaxing, and better than I ever could. And it will also play the game better. And that's if I live till 70, which I have my doubts. Yeah, Red Robin, exactly. No, you don't really get any views after a VOD goes up. In fact, like best practice on YouTube is to hide the VOD after you're done streaming. Like, because what happens is, like, the VOD numbers after you stream, those break your metrics. Like, your metrics go because nobody clicks on that thing after you've streamed. So technically, you're supposed to go in and you're supposed to just set it up so that it kind of hides the stream afterwards, so it's not even looking at it for metrics. I don't do that, because I like to have my VODs in their playlist, in the character playlist. I like to alternate between, you know, streaming sometimes and recording other times. And so I don't hide my VODs like I ought to. And because of that, and other factors, like, yeah, the numbers have just been, like, at an all-time low. An all-time low within the past 2 years. Humorously, the best couple of months I ever had for the channel had nothing to do with World of Warcraft. The best 3 months I had for the channel as far as metrics were when New World launched. Like, the original launch of New World. Those were, like, my 3 best months on YouTube, and that was over 2 years ago. And it hasn't mattered. Like, Hardcore has come out since then, Wrath has come out since then, Sod has come out since then, and no matter what the hype is, it was not nearly as hype as New World launch. That's very telling. It's like New World hype, even though New World was like a kind of a craptastic game when it launched. Like, the hype and the overall interest in that game sustained itself on the internet much longer than like any WoW content has. It's because it was the first new MMO to launch from a new studio. Yeah, I mean, sure, it's a new game. Right, exactly. Yep, it was new, but then the thing is, like, even though it was bad right away, like, it was bad when it was new, it was still more interesting to people for a longer period of time. Even though, by all accounts, like, the game was not great when it came out. I had fun playing it, what I played of it, but it was not a really great game. And yeah, like when it comes to MMOs, like they're really, you know, MMOs don't come out very often, and that's mainly what it is. And so, like, how often do you get a new MMO? Like, hardly ever. And when you do get a new MMO, like, it usually bombs, like, right away. Most MMOs that come out are usually dead before they even release. That's the really sad part. Like, and when will we see a new MMO? Like, probably never. I don't think we're ever gonna see a new, like, actual MMO in the way that, like, WoW was an MMO, in the way that New World was an MMO. I don't think any of those games are ever gonna come out. Who are the tiny shadow figures following? They're me. Yeah, they're just me. They're murder me's. Because they carry melee weapons and they go murder stuff. They're homunculi. It's one of the rune abilities. Yeah, there are little mini me's. It's really creepy. I don't really like it, but they deal a lot of damage, so I have to use them. What mount am I going to get? Well, I mean, all we can do in this version of WoW is we can get a mount at level 25 to ride in Ashenvale. To get a real mount, I have to be level 40. And we're not going to be level 40 for a long time. Yeah, in this version of the game, you don't get a real mount until 40. Right now, we're capped at level 25. We can't progress past level 25. So, in part, that's a good thing, because I have nowhere near any money saved up, so... This way, I don't have to worry about saving up 100 gold for a while. New World sank without a trace while WoW is still here. Well, yeah, obviously, that's the problem. The problem is that every other MMO that comes out is going to fail, like basically immediately. And because most people know that, people do not try to make MMOs very often. And then, like, you know, there's like a handful of MMOs that have been in development for like the past 8 years, and like the likelihood of us ever seeing those games is slim to none. I read some crazy stuff about Pantheon Rise of the Fallen the other day that I couldn't even really understand. It was almost like they had stopped making an MMO for a minute and they tried to make their game into a different type of game. And then like the player base or like the supporters on Kickstarter like revolted basically, and then they said, "Oh, okay, yeah, no, we're gonna make an MMO, don't worry." Like they were making an MMO and then they're like, "Let's make it into this instead." And then people were like, "Whoa, what?" And then they were like, "No, it's okay. We'll still make an MMO one day." And that was really weird. That was a weird read. I forget what they did with it. I don't know what it was. But they took what they had and they started to make it into some kind of different kind of play mode. And their backers were not happy. And so when I see a studio do like really weird stuff like that, like after 8 years of development, they're like wishy-washy about what kind of game they're making. When I see stuff like that, I'm like, well, yeah, like that game's never going to come out. Like Pantheon Rise of the Fallen is probably never going to be a game that you can buy for a retail price and actually play it. It's probably never going to exist. Similar to like Ashes of Creation, like another MMO that has like big identity issues and is probably never going to actually come out. You would think like the success of Classic and the success of things like old school RuneScape would show that like you can make like a more basic type of MMO that doesn't have to be resplendent with bells and whistles and super hyper realistic graphics, and like you can make a more simplistic game as long as it has a soul and as long as there's like an inherent journey like built into the gameplay experience. You'd think like a developer would learn that lesson, but like apparently we have not had enough time for that lesson to like sink into the collective consciousness yet. What's the cat? The cat figure is not for the quests. The cat figure summons the ghost saber. Okay. It's like, you know, hunters want this pet. Oh, that's cool. It gives you an item. Summons a ghost saber to fight for you for 10 minutes. I like that. Like, of course I want a ghost saber to fight for me for 10 minutes. Like, why wouldn't I want that? Yes, please come out and fight for me. We are now a hunter. We are hunter priest. Wait. I thought he was supposed to fight for me. This is not fighting. I don't know. It says it'll fight for me. It doesn't really seem inclined to fight. Does it have to be like within melee range to fight? Well, we're gonna find out. Yeah. The enemy has to be like within melee range. It won't run at a distance and attack something. He stands behind us yelling encouragement. Yeah, he's like, also, he has some weird facing issues. Like, I'm not comfortable with this facing. Like, why does he just stare at us? No, I don't like this. I don't like it. Maybe summoning him was a bad idea. Alright, that being said, we're done with this quest. Let's head over here to this one. This is an elite quest, but I'm pretty sure we should be able to handle it. Especially now that we have the ghost saber. Like, obviously it's going to be an easy fight now. Somewhere out there, our pretty little ghost kitty is in combat. I don't know where he is. Oh, he's way back here. Now I have to go back and rescue him. Because well, you know what? He's handling himself all right. But now I have to rescue him. So he's, not only is he useless, he's also aggressive. Understood. And now my homunculi have gone off and just aggroed whatever they want, basically. Oh god. Do I already have one of these? What do I have? Okay. I guess I should, like, start turning these in, you know, even though right now, like, getting honored doesn't matter. They said they were going to add stuff to the honored rank to make it worthwhile, so, like, maybe I should be working towards this. 2 ornate spy glasses. We will have to check the auction house to see if we can find any affordably. Yeah, they're a nuisance. They're just a nuisance. And this cat is standing right inside of us. Like, he has no respect for our personal space. I don't like it. I don't even think I can dismiss him. I have no control over him. He's with us now for the 10-minute duration, and I don't even see like where the game is tracking the 10 minutes. So maybe we're stuck with him forever.
Pleased to meet you.
That's true. He is a cat. Like, I'm not a cat person.
Alrighty then.
I am one of those people that are allergic to cats.
Hey, be seeing you.
And on top of that, like, not only was I allergic to cats my whole life, my mom always thought it was a good idea to keep like 2, 3, or 4 cats around the house, you know, because when you have a kid that has asthma and has cat allergies, like, the best thing you can do for that kid is to keep many cats. Many cats. And so I kind of grew like a resentment for cats as I got older and more miserable. Alright, what are we doing here? We're looking for the bottom of the key. Okay, and the top of the key. Okay. Is it any of the wildlife out here, or is it just the giant forest stalkers? Am I more of a dog person? I'm just not. I've learned about myself that I'm just not an animal person. We have dogs. Yeah, we have 2 dogs. One of them is a Texas Blue Heeler, and he barks at every single thing that moves all the time. He's barking nonstop. And then the other is a terrier. And of the 2 of them, I like the terrier more because he's smaller, and so when he does bark, he's quieter. But what I've learned is that I'm just really not much of an animal person. Yeah, if I was not allergic to cats, I'd probably prefer cats because they're more self-sufficient and they don't bark at stuff. I really hate noise. I really hate noise that I don't have any control over. Because I have like stupid like sensitivities to noises. And so like when you have dogs that all they do is bark at stuff whenever they want to for no reason, it's like, it's very triggering. Like, cats don't make that kind of noise, so if I wasn't deathly allergic to cats, and if I hadn't been forced to endure like physical hardship my entire life by being exposed to cats, then I'd probably prefer cats and it'd be fine. Because yeah, for the most part, like, they do their own thing, and more importantly, they just don't bark at stuff. That's the most important part. Get an iguana, they're like cats, but with much more attitude. Yeah, lizards are hard to take care of. Because they have like strict temperature requirements. Like my kid wants like a gecko or something. Like I'm kind of hesitant to like try to raise a lizard because one day it's gonna be dead. You know, one day you're gonna wake up and like the heating rock will have not worked and you wouldn't have known about it, or like something's gonna be off with their ecosystem and they're just gonna be dead. And it's not gonna be anything that could have really been avoided. So like I don't really like the idea of lizards. They're a little bit too frail. This is the elite that we need, but we don't need him yet. We're still looking for the bottom part of the key. This guy dragged him over to me like he knows that I'm gonna get on the aggro chain. Oh, I'm not on the aggro chain. I might have helped him, but he's pretty well dead already. And he didn't succeed in getting me on the aggro chain like he tried to. Dungeons today? Probably not today. Maybe Wednesday. I think Wednesday after we hit max level, then I might do some SFK runs to try to get the robes of Aragil and the shoulders out of there. I don't think I'll be ready to do that today. He was looking for help. Yeah, he might have been looking for help. It's called a group invite. You don't look for help by dragging an elite mob on top of somebody and like running past them. Like running a mob past somebody is the way you get them onto your aggro chain without their permission. It's the way you drop an enemy onto somebody. The way you ask for help in WoW is you toss out a group invite. That's like the best non-verbal way to ask for help, is to invite me to group. But if you drag something near me, I'm not going to help you. I don't like it when people chain their mobs over to me. I feel like it's rude, and I'm not going to help. I have some soup and a sandwich that has been delivered to me. And I'm going to probably eat this soon. Amanda's, how many subs do you need to make an okay monthly salary? Even if I was inclined to talk about money, like I couldn't answer your question, man. Because every single person here and like every single person in reality has a different idea of what is an okay amount of money for a human to make. I will say much more than what I have. It's not always so much about how many subs you have. On YouTube it's about like your watch time and your views. And so what you want to have is like high daily views and like high watch time. But as far as like what you need to like make a good monthly sub, that's going to depend on like person to person, man. Everybody has a different opinion on what that number is, and like not really a topic that I try to focus on too much. Most people you would want to do better than my channel does. Like I think that most people would want to do better. So if that helps at all. We need the middle of the key. The middle of the key is coming from something else. Tide Hunters. Murlocs? Riot's MMO sounds interesting. Yeah, but we're never gonna see it. That's the problem with Riot's MMO. It's the same problem with every other MMO currently in development. It's like, yeah, they might be okay, but like you're never gonna get to play them because they're never gonna be released. It sucks, but it's how it is. Like the days when people would actually make and release MMOs that time is like basically over. Because the problem is that like the mentality behind every development team now that's making an MMO is like it's always been this way, but they think, well, it has to be better than World of Warcraft. If it can't kill WoW, then it has failed right away, and so that's why every game is dead right out of the gate. Because like you're not gonna release a new game and have it like utterly defeat a game that's been out for 20 years. And yet that's what that's the metric that every single MMO tries to hold itself to. You know, not all of them. Like ESO and FF14 have found their audiences, and they have been really happy to like have their audiences. But when it comes to like brand new MMOs, they feel like if they don't carve out a big chunk of that player base from other games, that they have failed. And as long as they have that mentality, they will always fail.
Can I help you? Off and away. You have a great day now.
Like, yeah, I hope I get to play that game someday, but what? Like, okay, so let's say they're gonna make it. Like, the soonest you're gonna see it, you might see it in 8 years from now. Are you gonna give a shit in 8 years from now whether or not you play the Riot MMO? Like, most people aren't gonna care. No mention of Guild Wars 2? Oh yeah, sure, Guild Wars 2 has 12 people who play it. Yeah, and they really love it. No, I just didn't think about Guild Wars 2. I'm not trying to intentionally throw shade on it. It's an okay game. Just didn't think about it. And like the point is, none of those games are new. That's the other thing to keep. All those games have been out for a long time. It's like when new MMOs get announced now, like A, they never come out, and B, when they do come out, like New World, they come out, they're dead on arrival. They're dead right away. They're dead before they even release. They're dead in beta. Like, it's the fate of all MMOs to either A, never be released to the public, C, you know, Ashes of Creation and Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, like those games are never gonna hit 1.0. They're never gonna come out. Or it's a New World where it comes out and it's completely dead. Where is this guy? I guess maybe I have to wait for him to respawn, perhaps? Alright, while I'm waiting for this guy, I'm gonna turn my camera off and I'm gonna mute myself. I'm gonna eat this soup and I'm gonna eat this sandwich. So, yeah, that's what we're doing. I will see you guys on the flip side.
Need assistance? Off and away.
And off they go. I don't know what possessed them to go murder that poor bear, but that's what they did. I didn't tell them to do that. I didn't even look at the bear funny. I guess we're going all the way down to the south here to turn in the relics. The one in the cave here is an escort quest that we're probably not going to do. But yeah, I have to get down here to turn this in. So we're in for a little bit of a run. Rick, a sci-fi MMO? I mean, what game was it? What game was it that already... WildStar. WildStar did that. WildStar tried to be like the sci-fi... I mean, granted, it wasn't really, because then it was like all on one planet, because the point was like you crash landed on a planet. But they tried to bring that like sci-fi flair to the classes and stuff, and I liked WildStar. WildStar was a great game, but what happened with WildStar is what happened to every other game in that time. It's like it didn't kill WoW, and so therefore like the developers, the backers, like people decided it was a dead game. Because every single person didn't stop playing WoW to go play WildStar, it must have been a failure. So like it didn't get to live. And like, you know, that happened to other games like WildStar, they just let it die. Like games like Star Wars The Old Republic and like games like that like they weren't WoW killers, and they kind of failed, but they kept them alive for the few people that play them. I wish that WildStar had been one of the ones that could have been like kept alive for the player base that enjoyed it. Because it was pretty cool. It had a lot of cool class design. Like I liked the classes. None of them, they all fit like, you know, they fit into the Trinity, but they were all pretty unique. Except for the warrior. The warrior was still just a warrior, but you had like a medic and like a blade dancer. You had a couple of really unique classes. Ra, good afternoon, man. Welcome to the stream. I could stop in a vendor in town. I'm pretty sure there's a vendor down here, though. I'm like 90% sure that there's a vendor. So maybe we'll just wait. New updates on CurseForge. I did update my add-ons before the stream. Bagnon told me, like, specifically Bagnon was like, hey, you're on an old version, this ain't gonna work. And so I went and I updated all of my add-ons before the stream. Because I need Bagnon, like everything else can break. But if I have to look at the normal, like, in-game inventory, I'm gonna throw up on myself. So, like, everything else can break as long as Bagnon works, I am good. What are the minions? The minions are the new spell Homunculi. It's one of our rune abilities that gets engraved onto our leg slot. Makes 3 little copies of us. They are armed with a mace, a sword, and an axe. They reduce attack speed, attack power, and armor of the target they hit. And they do damage. And they probably annoy the enemy. Yeah, and they also have a mind of their own. They like to go kill critters. Like, every once in a while, they'll just run off and kill a critter. Just murder a rabbit. They haven't gone off after something so big as a cow yet, but I'm waiting for the day they go after a cow. If they go after a cow on their own, like, I'm not summoning them out anymore. They can't be trusted. The escort quest is here. I don't know if this is really worth doing. I don't think I'm going to do the escort quest. I am going to come down into this area here. And I want to grind for a little while. And I want to see if we can get the powers below. It's an item that begins a quest. Yeah, some people think they're cute and some people think they're creepy. And yeah, I myself, I think I lean a little bit towards them being really, really creepy. But some people do seem to think that they're cute. Yeah, they made rabbit stew, but nobody asked them to do that. That's the biggest problem. Nobody asked them. Mark, good afternoon, man. Welcome to the stream. I have an unspent talent point from back when we hit level 24. You know, but it's not a really exciting one. We're going to go into Improved Power Word Fortitude and get that done. There we go. I didn't vendor. I'm like, there's a vendor. See, I'm like so bad on the stream. It's so different when I'm questing and I'm recording. I swear to God, like, I'm not nearly as absent-minded as when I stream. Like, which is frustrating to me because, like, when I was streaming every single day and not doing a lot of recordings, I just kind of became convinced that I'm a big fucking idiot. Which, you know, might not be far from the mark. But then I play the game in a vacuum and I'm like, oh yeah, I can remember stuff sometimes. I do sometimes remember things. I'm not always a complete idiot. Just on stream in front of everybody. That's the only time that I forget to do every single basic thing that I'm supposed to do. Because I say I'm gonna do this and my brain's like, well, okay, I mean, you already said it and you must have done it already. You must be good. You must not need to do anything. You said it. I know I'm not Mark, but I feel that way. That's the worst part. Is like I have an idea that I'm probably not a complete buffoon, but oftentimes when I'm playing this game, when I'm streaming this game, like I do feel like that maybe I am. It's not a great feeling to have. The dude said he was gonna sell, and then the dude didn't sell. Like, yeah, I'm an idiot. What can I say? Are these guys? Oh, these guys are all gray. Ooh, no, I don't want to grind here. I don't know why I thought they'd be a higher level. Okay. Plan B. What's Plan B? Plan B is get the F out of here, I guess. Oh, Sentinel Hill. That Sentinel Hill's okay. We'll go over to Duskwood. And we'll go fight some stuff in Duskwood. We have about a half a level. I think I'm gonna grind this level out, fighting stuff in Duskwood. I think it's what I want to do. I will vendor now that we've had a big conversation about it. Now I will vendor. I'm gonna drop this. We never found out what this is, so I'm gonna destroy it. I'm assuming it's for some class's rune, like somebody who's not a priest. Pinned comment, see the pinned comments still up. I gotta worry about pinned comments staying up for hours. Alright, the leather... I think I'm just gonna sell this. The market price of leather has gone down drastically unless it's a medium leather. The medium leather I can probably sell for a bit. I didn't do this, so I'm gonna drop this one. Alright, that's pretty good.
Farewell.
And we'll fly over to Duskwood. Is the Season of Discovery more difficult than Classic Vanilla? No, it's about exactly the same. Like, all the quests are the same, the leveling is the same. They buffed enemies a little bit. So, like, depending on what class you are and depending on what level you are, like, the combat might feel a little bit more challenging. They buffed enemy HP and enemy attack power by an undisclosed amount. What we heard 20%. But I'm not sure. Oh, we never went to Duskwood. Okay, we're making the run. But yeah, it's not necessarily harder. On most classes, like the new abilities that you get make up for the bonus to the enemy HP. Unless you're playing a warrior. Yeah, don't play a warrior. Warriors suck. I'm gonna grab some of these quests, but I'm not gonna do these quests. I'm not gonna turn them in. I'm gonna grind out the rest of the level, and I'm gonna hold on to all the questing until the level band opens up. I want to save all this stuff for level 25 to 40. But I will grab it now. We might be able to complete, like, Wolves on Our Heels. We'll probably be able to complete that one, and I'm just not gonna turn it in. I'm gonna hang on to it.
Greetings. Go with honor, friend.
Good day to you. See you later.
I mean, I guess technically, like, if you really wanted to, and it probably wouldn't be really optimal, but you could complete a bunch of quests, and then hang on to them, and then as soon as the level band opens up, you could go turn in a bunch of quests. You know what I mean? Like, if I did a bunch of the low-level stuff here in Duskwood, and then just, like, didn't turn it in, whenever the level band opens up, I could turn all of it in and give myself, like, a little boost, you know? It wouldn't be significant, but it would be something. It's been a rainy day in a few different zones, yeah. It's a miserable, wet day outside my window, too, so... I don't really like it when, like, it's cold and wet outside, and then it seems like it's cold and wet in the game. I should ask for an invite to a different layer. At this point in the year, I would prefer snow. It was trying to snow this morning when it was a little bit colder out. But yeah, at this point in the year, like, it's been unseasonably warm here in Michigan. Usually we would have snow by now. Usually if it wasn't snowing, it would at least be pretty cold. But we had a couple days in the 50s, and we've had a lot of days in the 40s, which is not typical for this time of year. But at this point, you know, like a week from Christmas, I would prefer some snow over just like really, really cold rain. There's nothing worse than just like a really, really cold rain that's not snow yet. It's just miserable. I'm pretty sure this is all I'm gonna do the rest of the way to 25. I might stop skinning because I really just want to keep my kill rate going. So I might stop skinning these guys just to get my kill rate as high as it could possibly be. Because I think I'm just gonna grind on these guys up here until I hit 25. And here, while I have you guys here, and while we're just grinding, I'm gonna put up a poll. Since, like, after this Wednesday, I probably won't stream this character anymore unless I'm raiding. This character will be capped out. We'll spend Wednesday maybe doing some SFK runs, and maybe we'll try to get a little bit of gear for the raid. But after I start raiding on the character, like, I'm not gonna be playing it on the streams, except for the raid. So what do we want to do on the streams going forward? Do we want to go back to hardcore and jump back on the hardcore hunter, who I believe we got to like level 37? Or do we want to check out like a rogue or a paladin in SOD? Like, what would we rather do with our weekday streams? I'm going to put up a poll and just to like, and this is not going to necessarily decide, but I'm curious for your guys' feedback on this one. Let me do this. There we go. Have at it. And yeah, so like the caveat is like the SOD characters, you know, we'll eventually cap the SOD characters. The hunter has like 300 more hours of gameplay in it. The SOD vote is divided, so the poll is flawed. I can kind of see that. I kind of see what you mean. Yeah, you think it should have been hardcore or SOD. Like basically could have been like a cleaner poll. I mean, we can see that like a lot of people are picking SOD Rogue or SOD Pally. What we don't know is like how many people, if it was the other class, would have gone hardcore instead. I guess that's the data that we won't have. Anubis, good afternoon. You accidentally hit Hunter, but you wanted Rogue. Noted. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I could play anything. Like, I don't really have a preference. I think that, like, no matter what, the Priest is probably going to be my main for the rest of the season. Oh, hello. We are being PvP'd, my friends. We have been PvP'd into oblivion. Ugh, so where else are we going to go to grind? Because we're not going to be doing it here, apparently. Hey, we weren't too far from the graveyard. So that's good. I forgot about PvP. Ask me sometime how I feel about going on a PvP server. What are my plans for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day? To not be streaming. To be spending time with my family. Yeah. There will be recorded stuff that goes out, but you will not be seeing me on those days. I will let real streamers stream on those days. Yeah, oh, there will be no actual PvP, I guess. There will be me getting ganked and me running back to my corpse. And then me trying to find somewhere where I can grind to avoid them. But there won't be... Yeah, suddenly I was dying. Everything was fine and then suddenly I was dying. That's how I feel about PvP. Everything's fine and then suddenly you're dying. Maybe maybe when I roll this next sod character, maybe I'm going to do it over on the Wild Growth server. Maybe that's going to happen. Alright, dare I resurrect? It looked like they were just kind of moving through, just kind of killing what they could. I doubt they're just going to, like, camp me. They seem to be mobile. They're probably coming here to get a rune or something they need, you know? And they just figure we might as well kill everybody we can on the way. I thought about a mage. What I worry about with the mage is that, like, it's not going to be anywhere nearly as mana efficient as the priest. And so I'm really hesitant to go over to, like, another mana using caster. Because the priest has been so good to me. And I know that, like, any other caster, I'm going to have to drink so much more than I've had to on the priest. Like, and I feel like if I get onto a mage and I have to drink, like, every other pull, like, I'm just going to hate my experience. I don't really like classes that have a lot of downtime. I like classes where you can, like, string multiple pulls together, like warrior with the with fury, rogue with energy. Like the priest is really good because we have so much regen that we never have to stop. But I know for a fact on the mage, we're gonna do like 1 or 2 pulls, and then we're gonna have to stop and drink, and then we're gonna do 1 or 2 pulls, and we're gonna have to stop and drink. And I wonder if that's just going to make me hate it. Especially after, like, the smooth ride I've had here on the priest. Yeah, they are one of the most changed classes. You know, there's also, like, rogues. Rogues can tank. That's a big change, but, like, I'm not really interested in tanking on the rogue. That's kind of why, like, I hesitate on the rogue. Is like, I feel like the rogue is really good for people that want to try out rogue tank. Like, I'm not really interested in that. If I want to tank, I want to tank on the paladin. I don't think I would ever really try out rogue tanking. Yeah, dual spec would be nice. They hinted at it, you know, they said it was going to be a possibility. At BlizzCon they talked about it for like a split second. I'm hoping that for the level 40 level ban they definitely put it in. There have been a couple times in the raid when it would be useful for people to have dual spec. I would like to have dual spec for my priest. Because I wouldn't mind like having a DPS build. But I wouldn't want that to be my primary spec. Yeah, you know what? The poll is corrupted. With two sod choices and and one hardcore choice, the poll is corrupted. I'm gonna end this poll. that poll is over. That poll did not provide like a lot of useful data. It turns out. Basically, it seems like it's probably just evenly split, like it typically is. Kind of worried that I dust off the level 37 hunter and just get her killed. I haven't played, you know, I'm doing a recorded series on a mage, and I'm running with the AI voiceover add-on. So that's been cool, and I'm like slowly redeveloping like hardcore sensibilities. She's like level 9 and hasn't gotten killed yet, but I kind of worry like jumping back onto a higher level hardcore character that I'm bound just to get her killed. Unless I like start to build up some of those reflexes again. I have a disease, yeah, I could probably take care of that, can't I? Boom, I had rabies. Just a little rabies, no big deal. Yeah, if I went paladin, it would be a sword and shield pally. Yeah, Like if I went with a paladin for Sod, I'd do a one-hander and a shield because I'd want a tank on it. So I'd probably level up speccing myself that way. I always feel like I have unfinished business on the paladin. Like no matter what I do or how hard I try to like stay away from the class, I always feel like I have unfinished business. Yeah, I would go full prot spec. It's only to level 25, so like the amount of talent points you get is like, it's negligible. I could not have any talent points right now, and you besides Spirit Tap, you would not really notice like anything different in my gameplay. Like Spirit Tap would probably be the only talent like that if I didn't have it, you would notice really anything different. Like talent points are kind of like minimal at this level. But yeah, I would go into prot most likely. But by saying I would go into prot, there'd probably be like one thing in ret I would grab, one thing in holy I would grab, one thing in prot I would grab. Like I'd probably really be like all over the place. If I'm trying to think about like the paladin talent trees and like the early tiers. Maybe I should go somewhere where there are like higher level enemies. Yeah, like maybe level 23s would be better for me. Like on the warrior I had to fight green enemies because the warrior was so weak, but the priest is not weak, so I could probably stand to grind on guys that are yellow. Probably make this a little bit faster of a process. Probably, yeah, well if I'm going pally it'd have to be alliance. I kind of gave up on the shaman. I was not having fun on the shaman at all. I thought I could stick it out to level 25 and just like get it done, but I hate playing the game with that mentality. Especially when I'm trying to do it when I'm doing recorded stuff. I hate playing the game with the mentality, oh just stick it out, get to level cap even though you're hating it. Like yeah, I was not digging the shami at all. And then I realized that I was going to have to do like the totem quest, and then that was like the nail in the coffin. Like, not only am I not enjoying the class, I'm gonna have to do the totem quest. And I hate the totem quest. I should probably pop into town at some point and grab the flight point at least. That'd be smart. There's like no enemies here apparently. Apparently we're in like an enemy dead zone. Level 29. Yeah, I don't want level 29s. Level 29 just got me a little bit out of my range. Yeah. I might, yeah. Part of me wants to keep the character here because my other characters are here. Part of me like doesn't want to deal with PvP. So, I don't know. It's kind of like I've been thinking to myself like, do I want to have a backup character on Wild Growth in case leveling in Stranglethorn is impossible? Like, what if leveling in Stranglethorn is impossible? Do I want to have a backup character on Wild Growth in case that happens? I don't know. I'm not going to grab any quest here, I don't think. Are there any, like, really low-level quests? Wolf kebabs. We probably have all the lean wolf flanks we need. Yeah, we could probably just turn this quest in. I know I said I would save everything, but... I'm pretty sure we're... Oh, wait, we need Stormwind Seasoning Salt, don't we? Yeah, we don't have the Stormwind Seasoning Salt. I'm not going to bother with it. Yeah, see, I've never played on a PvP server until this season. And so for me, like, part of it was an experiment to see, like, how I would feel about playing on a PvP server. And like I don't really have any great feelings about it. I haven't had any like awful experiences. You know, getting killed outside of the raid is kind of annoying, but like it's not really a big deal because there's no durability loss. It's a mild, like being on a PvP server is a mild inconvenience right now. However, when I'm in Stranglethorn or South Shore or basically anywhere else, I wonder, is mild inconvenience going to grow into like massive amounts of inconvenience? It could. It has a 50% chance of like growing into a massive constant interference. And so I thought to myself, maybe you want to have a backup character on a PvE server. That's kind of what I thought. I thought I would like, and then I thought like maybe I would enjoy actually engaging with PvP. But I think like even if I was going to enjoy PvP, I don't think it would be open world PvP. Because open world PvP is always going to be unbalanced. You're either the one getting ganked or you are the ganker. You could be the ganker or the gankee. But it's never going to be like a balanced experience. And so yeah, it's been a learning journey. And so far I've only gotten ganked a handful of times. But it could become very different in the 25 to 40 bracket. Sean, good afternoon. Welcome to the stream. I wonder if these guys will drop medium leather. That would be nice. Somehow I need like 4 gold because I have to buy 2 of these, and they sell for like a gold to like 2 gold on the auction house. Apparently they drop from murlocs in the wetlands. So maybe I'll have to try to farm them, but they're apparently like a really rare drop. I have everything else I need for this in the bank, but I need these 2 pearls to make the spider silk boots. This guy basically killed all the mobs that I wanted to grind on. It's unfortunate. Sean, it took you hours to farm 2 of them. The bots keep the murloc area on farm. Is that what it is? Is that why all the murlocs are always dead? I checked it out on my warrior. I thought maybe I would farm it up on my warrior. It turns out my warrior still sucks. Like my warrior cannot farm those murlocs with any kind of efficiency. So I quickly gave up on doing that. But I did notice that most of the murlocs were predominantly dead. And yeah, I guess if there's bots out there, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw some up there for like 2 gold, 1.5 gold. I don't know what the price used to be, but if it was 11 gold, it's come down. It's not. It wasn't 11 gold. Unless the price has gone up since I checked, which is possible. Like I'm not checking the auction house every day. Yeah, I think I probably will get at least one character to cap on Wild Growth. Just so that it's an option. Just so that it's an option, so that if I do get into Stranglethorn or South Shore and I'm having like a horrible experience, I have something to pivot to. It wouldn't be ideal, but Horde are attacking the Darkmoon Fair. It sounds like something they would do. It sounds very much in character. Yeah, Daniel, that's kind of where I'm at. We did quite a bit in Red Ridge. Well, we did the intro stuff in Red Ridge, but I haven't touched really any of the questing here in Duskwood yet. Right now, I'm grinding out the rest of the level. I'm not working on quest right now. I'm just grinding out the rest of the level to 25, and I'm gonna save all the rest of the stuff in Red Ridge. I'm gonna save everything else here in Duskwood for when the level band opens up. And now I have in my head now like the perfect leveling path for an Alliance character that gets them like way ahead of the curve, so that's the great thing about this character is I learned that if I go to Teldrassil early and I do stuff in Dalinar, like where I normally would not take a human or a dwarf, if I do that, then I get way ahead of the curve. So that's been the really good thing about this character. And I'll have to replicate it on any other character that I roll. Will also have to go over to the Night Elf lands. Yeah, I heard people were like doing quests to get gold. They're like, oh, the quest gives so much gold at level cap. I'm thinking to myself, well, you're not really level cap. You are going to have to level more. And so if you're doing all these quests, you're going to F yourself. Unless you only plan to participate in the 1 to 25 level bracket. Like if you just want to be a level 25 twink, and the experience you want is just to do level 25 stuff, and you don't plan to go on to level 40 or 50 or 60, then yeah, like go ahead and do all the quests for gold. But if you want to keep leveling your character up after the band opens up, you don't want to burn your quest for gold. You want to hold on to as many quests as you can, because you're gonna need all of them. Yeah, they're gonna have to grind. And some people were like, oh, you can dungeon grind. Yeah, I mean, you could do a bunch of dungeons, but that's not an efficient way to level. Like, you're not gonna easily grind out a bunch of levels by just doing 5-man dungeons. Like, you don't get that much kill XP. It just isn't a thing. What's gonna happen to a lot of them is a lot of them are gonna have to re-roll. Like, a lot of the people that burned a bunch of quests for gold, or they were like me, like my warrior is kind of screwed too. My warrior does not have a good leveling path going forward because I didn't go to the Night Elf lands. And so what's going to happen is like when the level band opens up, they're gonna give 1 to 25 is going to have an XP buff. So what's going to happen for a lot of people is they're going to realize how hard up they are to get from 25 to 40, and they're going to re-roll. And 1 to 25, they're going to have an XP buff, and that's going to propel them way ahead of the leveling curve. That's what I foresee for a lot of people who kind of mess up their leveling progress by either like doing quests for gold or doing quests like too early. Is that they're just gonna re-roll when the band opens up. We don't know what kind of bonus experience we're gonna get, but it's probably gonna be like a 50%. I would say maybe 50% to 100% XP bonus. Season of Mastery was 50%, or was it 40%? It might have been 40%. Yeah, I've thought that about my hardcore characters now too, is like, I thought like, even though I was zone hopping on my hardcore characters, like, between the human and dwarven lands, like, pretty effectively, I realize now that, like, by leaving out the Night Elf lands, like, I kind of screwed myself over. The problem with hardcore is, like, it's a lot more difficult to get your character over to the Night Elf lands. Like, safely. I mean, I guess you can pay someone to escort you or whatever. Like, there's options. You can pay for a summon to Darnassus, I guess. Would have been the most efficient way to do it. I'm leveling up a human mage in hardcore in a recorded series, so I think once I'm, like, level 10, I'm gonna have to like fork over some gold and have somebody summon me to Darnassus. Because I definitely don't want to mess up another character. Bronze bars, that's a low level one. I'm not gonna bother with it. Somewhere over here there are humans that drop a rune for me. Now it's not really a rune that I need, I don't think. I basically have what I want. I'd love to have like a healing thing for my chess piece. But the ones for the chess piece, like, I don't know. They're not really great. But I'll probably have to get one anyway. I think the one I want comes from Furbolgs and Ashenvale. So like how easy is it going to be for me to kill Furbolgs and Ashenvale without getting ganked by Horde? Well, we're going to have to find out eventually. Because I think that's the one that I want. Is the one that drops from the Thistlefur guys. I do hope that when they think about future seasons, if they're gonna do like any class changes or like new abilities, all that stuff should just be baked into the class. It's always gonna be a lot more fun to like discover something or find something out in the world that you don't need to have. That's like a really nice to have. Like if you're out in the world and you discover like a new piece of gear or some gold or a quest, like that's really cool. In a season where the things you have to discover are all the abilities that you need to actually be your class, like it's always going to be less fun discovering stuff that's like it's mandatory, you know, it's not an option. Like you need certain abilities for the class to function how you want it to. And therefore it becomes mandatory, and therefore like the fun kind of gets leached out of it. It's not interesting to me to like go after the runes. It's not exciting to find them. It's just a mandatory thing that I have to do to play the class. And so I hope that they like in future seasons, like if they're gonna do class changes, like just bake them in to the class. Have it trainable at the trainer at whatever level you want. And leave it at that, and then make the content that you add to the game, make it something else. Yeah, Luna, sign-ups are in the Discord, but this week's hasn't been posted yet. Usually by Tuesday or Wednesday, we'll post the sign-up sheet in the Season of Discovery category. Yeah, Tuesday or Wednesday. I think last week we put it up on a Tuesday, so yeah. I'll ping some officers today to get it posted soon. I need to find an area that's like more densely populated with enemies. I'm running around and there's really nothing to fight. Maybe if I cut through here. There's a sign up for a Tuesday evening. Okay, that's cool. Let's get the Saturday one up as well, please. It's cool that people are going on Tuesday. And so yeah, I guess also like pay attention to what the time says, because now we're gonna have two different signups. What time are you guys doing the Tuesday one? Server time. Yeah, the weekend raid's not up yet. It's 6 p.m. server time. That's not bad. That would be 8 o'clock my time, which would be too late for me to start a raid on a weeknight. But yeah, that's cool. I hope that works out. It'll probably have more progression than the main weekend raid because I won't be there. So. Alex, you can go to sleep early and then just wake up at 3. Just go to bed super early. Just wake up for the raid. And then go back to bed when the raid ends. Yeah, my goal for the Saturday raid this week is to be on early enough that we can actually like start pulling right at 11 o'clock. Cause like we tend to like, it tends to be 4 hours, but only like 2.5 hours of raiding. So like my goal is that this Saturday I'm gonna get on like a little bit earlier than I did last Saturday, and hopefully we can then pull like right at 11. I feel like we are like a couple of boss nerfs away from clearing the raid easily. I wouldn't be surprised if by the next time we tried the boss that stopped us, he's probably going to be much easier. Because he seemed like a complete cluster F. And so usually they leave bosses like that for a little bit, but eventually they usually get nerfed also. So I wouldn't be surprised if next time we fought him, he was a little bit easier. Yeah, and the problem is, like, I think that the third phase is a DPS check. So I kind of thought, like, maybe having 3 healers would be the way to go. But not if phase 3 is a DPS check. Well, I mean, he doesn't enrage, I don't think. He just does a lot of damage in third phase. Maybe it would be a 3 healer fight. Sometimes you run with 3 healers in a 10-man. If there's not an enrage timer, and if it's not a DPS race, then a lot of times it's better just to have a 3rd healer, especially when you're learning a fight, especially if a fight has not been nerfed yet. It could be better to have 3 heals, or at least to have somebody focusing on off heals. This is why we need dual spec. So one of the 16 paladins in the raid can go heal for fights like that are just like almost impossible to keep people alive long enough. No one wants to have 3 healers because everyone's like, oh, everyone does it with 2. Every video I watched has 2. It's like, oh, okay, so like the professional raiders that you watched who are also still struggling with the fight, they use 2 healers, so you should have to. That makes sense. But no, sometimes you have to have 3 healers. Have you guys established like a stop time for the raid night, or are you guys just gonna go until you're like done with it, sick and tired of it, or have cleared it? I'd almost be tempted to try to bring the priest, but I don't even think I could stay awake that late. Like, even if you were to only raid for 3 hours, it'd be 8 o'clock my time. That'd be an 11 o'clock stop time. Yeah, I couldn't do it. I would be semi-conscious to unconscious by the time the raid. And that's if you guys only went for 3 hours. But I feel like you might go more than that. Yeah, 3 hours is a good time for a raid to go. Like, regardless of what progress has been made, I'm on like the 3 hour plan. I feel like Saturday we went a little bit longer than that, but not very much. Not if we were tracking like from when we actually started pulling. From when we actually started pulling, it was probably about 3 hours. Any more than that, like, you're usually beating your head against the wall by 3 hours in if you haven't cleared the raid. I could probably manage to stay up that late during the summer. Like, during the summer, that would be an okay raid time, because I wouldn't have to wake up super early the next day. Third Franks, good afternoon from Michigan. Welcome to the stream, man. Thanks for stopping by. These spiders have been okay kill XP, but the problem is they are poisoning us and putting diseases on us every single time I pull one. I am going to go ahead and keybind my cure disease, so I can stop clicking it over and over again. This character is going to be a healer. I wouldn't mind DPSing, but for now we're going to heal. When they introduce dual spec, whenever they put dual spec in, it'll be a lot easier to do either or. But the big impetus for this character was that we don't have a lot of healers in the guild. And so I thought it would probably be helpful if instead of being a DPS, I was just a guild healer. That's at least something useful that I can do. Monica, good evening. Welcome to the stream. Oh my god, we went How did we go I've never been on this character. I don't know what's happening. I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked. I didn't know we could run out of mana. I'm still not going to drink, mainly because I don't have any water on me. But secondly, just to maintain the fact that I've like basically never drank water on this character. We're about to be capped. Like probably three or four more kills. And there we go. Such a night and day difference than the journey I had on the Warrior. Like, the Warrior's journey was arduous and punishing, and it didn't feel good at any point in time. The buttons were not fun to push. This has been the complete opposite experience. I've had a wonderful time on the Priest. No part of the leveling was grueling. No part of the leveling was tedious. At no point did I feel like I was rushing to get to the max level. And it was just a really, really good experience overall. Very, very nice. Okay, I'm going to hearth us back to Sentinel Hill, and I'm going to pop on a flight over to Stormwind. And not really a lot else I want to do on the character today. We can look at some character creation for our next Sod character. But I do want to get us to Stormwind. Maybe we take a look at the auction house. I have a couple of slots that I don't have any equipment. I'd like to get a headpiece, I'd like to get a neck, I'd like to find another ring. That being said, I only have 5 gold right now. I have a little bit of gold on the warrior that I need to send over. The warrior's done. Let's pretend like we don't have a warrior,
Need something?
and they never saw her again. That's kind of how the warrior's going. So I'm going to send all the gold I have on the warrior over to this character, and just kind of go from there. Thanks, guys. Male dwarf rogue next. If I played a dwarf rogue, it'd have to be body type B. I don't think I'm gonna do rogue. I think I might do paladin. I kind of want to have a tank, and like I'm not gonna tank on the warrior. I'm not gonna tank on a rogue because I don't know. I just don't really. It doesn't feel right to me. Like it's really cool to be like an evasion tank. It just doesn't really feel right to me. Yeah, the warrior settled down. Yep. Yeah, that's what happened. I have to retire the warrior. I wasn't having any fun on it. Like raiding on it was also kind of boring. Like I had a 1-button rotation that basically, well, 2 buttons. Rend and heroic strike. Rend and heroic strike. And just white attacks. It was really boring, so. But let's go see what kind of shopping we can do. We have a little bit of money to spend. I can turn in the waylaid chest. I don't think I'm going to worry about filling it up. We'll check the price for the ornate spyglasses, but anything over a handful of silver, I'm not gonna worry about filling the chest. And I think I'm gonna do Pally on the Wild Growth server as a backup. Well, not even as a backup, but here's what I think. I think that leveling the first character on this realm will be fine. I feel like the priest will go through Stranglethorn, we'll get to 40, everything will be fine. But then I feel like any alts, like if you are leveling up a character like after everyone has already hit 40, I feel like then it might be challenging. That's where you might run into problems in like contested zones. I feel like the priest will be fine to get the 40, but I worry about being able to get any other class to 40, having to deal with all the PvP zones. Yeah, let's check for ornate spyglass. Yeah, I don't want to spend the gold. I'm not going to spend the gold. I don't want to spend almost 2 gold on it. It's not worth it to me. Let's just go ahead and turn it in for whatever it's worth.
Looking for something specific? Have a good one. Farewell.
It didn't get us anything, but that's fine.
Can I help you?
I also have I never picked up the rune. I don't even think I need it.
Be careful.
And then I need head, neck, and ring. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, all the prices feel super inflated. Obviously, there are bots. Obviously, people are buying gold with real life money. So everything feels like super inflated price-wise. But let's see what we can get. This doesn't have stats on it. I'm not worried about it. Like, I'm not gonna buy a helmet that doesn't have stats. I don't need the armor, and it looks stupid. So anything that deletes our pigtails is completely idiotic. Let's go shoulders. Yeah, 39 gold. Okay, yeah, oh yeah, sure, I have 39 gold to spend somehow. This is how I know people are buying gold. This is how I know people are buying gold. There's no fucking way. Like, yeah, even on the hardcore server, the price of this would be much discounted. It'd probably be like 6 to 10 gold on the hardcore servers. So that's not gonna happen. Yeah, all this stuff is way out of my price. I can't afford any of this stuff. Here we go. Maybe this right here. This is as good as it gets. 7 intellect, 2 stamina. That's what we're raiding with. We're raiding with this. Other than that, what else? What's going on with my character? Let's see. The boots are level 11. I could stand some better boots. The spider silk, I bet like that probably costs less than the materials to craft them. Like, cause I could craft them myself, but I need 2 iridescent pearls. Let's see. Yeah, three gold. Like, no, I can't afford it. Two gold, 221. I have the other stuff in my bank. Maybe I can grab this. That's about all I'm gonna be able to do. Rings. I'm probably not gonna be able to afford any rings until I send some gold over. Oh yeah, oh of course, everyone has 115 gold to spend. That's a completely normal amount of gold to have at this point. Completely normal. Band of Purification, Spirit. Yeah, I mean I could take a Spirit ring. I'm not. Yeah, that seems good. I'll take the Spirit ring. That's fine. And now we're broke. It's crazy prices because people are buying gold. Yeah, with real life money. They need, like, I hate to say it. I'd hate to say it, but they need to put the WoW token into the game. Because the economy's already completely cluster effed. And, like, someone like me, like, I'm never gonna buy gold illegally. But I will buy a WoW token. Yep. If they put a WoW token into Classic right now, I'll buy one right now. But I'm never gonna seek out, like, external means of buying in-game gold. But the problem is that lots of people are doing it. So it's already effed up the auction house. So I would rather they put the WoW token in so that, like, I can buy some gold too. Because I'm never going to do it illegally. But I will do it. I have to go to the bank. Yep, and looking at the auction house, like, in the way that it is, like... And the way botting is right now, I would not be surprised to see a WoW token. There's the spider silk, there's the bolt of cloth. That should be all I need, right? Yeah, we're good. There we go. It takes like 3 minutes to craft it. Oh, good. I'm glad I'm not doing this for skill ups.
Be careful.
At max level, would it be worth it to go grind up gold? I mean, but how are you going to grind up gold? Like, right now the way to grind up gold is to grind iridescent pearls and sell them on the auction house. The problem is there's a million bots already doing that. Like, bots are already doing it. And you should not be doing quests to get gold because you need all those quests for when the level band opens up. So, like, yeah, you can go grind some gold, but at level 25... you're not going to be able to grind gold in like hundreds of gold unless you put hundreds of hours into it. Like, there aren't a lot of items at level 25 that sell for a lot that you're not going to be selling on the auction house. Right now, your only like realistic means of farming gold is to farm iridescent pearls and hope that you can sell them on the auction house. But every day that bots are farming them, the price is going to go down a little bit over time. So eventually it'll be worth it for the bots to continue farming them, but it probably won't be worth it for most people because the drop rate on them is pretty low. But when you're a bot, it doesn't matter. Like there's no way you're gonna farm up enough money to afford the stuff that's on the auction house, like through like normal gameplay. That's all. All right. Yeah, no helmet, neck piece. I didn't look for. I don't have any money right now anyway, so it doesn't matter. Right now we're broke. Let's put the ring on. So, like, besides the neck piece, yeah, I mean, this is basically what I'm gonna raid with. Like, I'll try to get a neck. I could probably replace the cloak and the bracers. So I'm gonna fire some more gold over, and I'll look at replacing a couple of pieces of gear, but for the most part, I'm gonna try to raid with what I have. Go ahead and I'm gonna fire over all of my gold.
Feel free to browse.
I need a vendor. I need a vendor.
My goods are of the highest quality.
Yeah, but even 25 gold's a lot, but like we're seeing stuff that's selling for like 120, 150 gold on the auction house. Like we're seeing stuff that's selling for way more gold than you would really like conceivably farm at this level. That's the problem. I realize I don't know what little special character my priest has in her name. Where did I put the special character? Was on the A. Okay. Apparently I've been making some money too. Sold a bunch of tin bars. I think we're gonna go human. Most of my characters have been dwarfs recently, so I think for our paladin we're probably gonna go human. I always have to pick hair that doesn't like cut through the shoulder pieces and stuff. I feel like any hair that hits the character's shoulders, like on any character model, it like clips into the shoulder gear and it like ends up looking like garbage after a while. There is nothing on Wild Growth right now, just me. This is like backup plan beta. Just in case leveling eventually becomes impossible to do on Lone Wolf. Like, I'm kind of anticipating for, like, if I wanted to have an alt, I'm probably not going to be able to have any alts on Lone Wolf, because once everyone is level 40, it's going to make places like Stranglethorn, like, impossible to level through on a PvP server. That's kind of what I'm worried about. So this is like backup character on a PvE server. That's what this is about. We'll make the guild backup ramblers. We'll do backup ramblers on Wild Growth server. Am I gonna get any of my names? Probably not. I think I already went through this. Let's see. Let's grab a special character. The specialist of special characters. Oh, I have 2 S's. How did I fat finger 2 S's? Back to the drawing board. Don't take my name, please. Back to the drawing board we go. I don't remember any of the customization stuff I selected. That's it. That is it. That is it. Guys, I think I'm gonna leave it like right there for today. I'm gonna get the character logged in and we'll get a little bit of rested XP, but I think my job here is done. We got the priest to cap. We got the priest like kinda getting ready to raid, so that's good. We've got our leveling character for the streams during the week. So yeah, I think this is going to be a good place to stop for today before I get too much into anything. I appreciate you guys being here and hanging out with me, witnessing the priest hitting level cap. That's awesome. And I will be back on Wednesday, so I will not be streaming tomorrow. The new schedule for right now is it's Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. And right now Saturdays are for the raid. If we're not raiding every week, if we get to a point where like we're kind of bored of the raid and it's been going on for a while, then I'll probably do Monday, Wednesday, Friday instead of Saturday. But for right now, I'm going to try to maintain just Monday, Wednesday, Saturday for the time being. Thank you guys again. Really do appreciate you guys hanging out. As always, take care of yourselves out there and take care of each other. And we'll see you back here again very soon. Bye for now.